तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी
Yo, what is up? It's the Hesi podcast. We back in this thing. It's Wednesday night. You already know what we about to do. But guess what? I got my dog Russ over here. As we all, we keeping it real. We do what we do. But then we got a guest up in here. We got a guest. Keem. Keem is our guest. Now, this is the first guest that we've officially had on the Hesi. So we got to give a good Hesi round of applause. And Russ, go on and introduce your boy, man.
Yeah, hey, what's up, man? It's the real baby Keem. Keem gonna plug what he needs to, but we're happy to have you on. I will say this, Sterling, many people may not know, and this might make you chuckle. Our first guest is actually an NBA champion. So hey, we're starting off right. So a lot of you, this is Keem. He's gonna join us. He's gonna talk sports with us tonight. It's just, oh my God, J Rail, you're on time today.
He's on time tonight. Hey, it's a good night.
If you don't know, Keem, J Rail's our resident CP time expert. He normally comes in about an hour after the show when it's about to be down. But he's here on time today. So what's up, Rail? So Keem, go ahead and plug yourself in. Let the people know a little about yourself. We're gonna kick it off.
Well, I appreciate the invite. Huge fan of the pod for sure. So I'm looking forward to us talking about some good sports, have some good dialogue here tonight for sure. And it's coming from someone worked 5 years in the NBA for two different teams, the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. Was a part of that 2021 championship run in Milwaukee. Really started off, helped onboard Trae Young, was around, John Collins, the Kevin Huerters of the world. The rebuild. So a lot of the young guys who are considered vets now in the NBA that I kind of, work closely with and consider, co-workers. Even up until my last year working with the Hawks, we had Vince Carter there and, working in human resources on the end, looking at hot sauce. Let's pay hot sauce. I'm like, man, nice. I grew up on hot sauce. So really just being around the game, lifelong learner, hooper. I love hoops. I love sports in general. As you can really look at the background, I love Allen Iverson. It's pretty much the standard for me, the culture. I consider myself a game changer. And I feel like AI really changed the game. But I appreciate the invite, y'all.
Yeah, well, Keem, I got questions for you, dog. I got, you was in the NBA. Did you tell your boy Ice Trey where to get his haircut at, bro? What's going on?
Welcome to the pod.
I just want to know for the people.
I didn't, man, but I was around, Trey rookie year, but kind of going back, we originally drafted Luka. So we're at the draft party, and it's, Luka, international player. Not many people know much about him unless you really paid attention to Euro hoops. But, I mean, you look at the culture at Atlanta, we draft Luka and everybody is booing. And then, of course, the commissioner, Adam Silver, come up and say, hey, there's a trade. Dallas Mavericks are trading Trae Young to the Atlanta Hawks. Luka goes to Dallas. And, of course, being from Dallas, I'm like, okay, Luka fits with the Dallas scheme, the international players, the next coming after Dirk. And then, of course, the way Trae plays and just the culture at Atlanta, okay, it ended up working out for best, but Trae, haircut wise, when you first onboarded, coming to a new city, fresh out of college, it's like, hey man, where to go, where to get my haircut.
Yeah.
Kind of like a new hire, you relocating to a new city. It's kind of like the same thing. It's like, man, I don't really know where anything is, but they have people that works in what we call player relations, player enrichment, and development that really help onboard those players, and they give them this huge stack of pretty much the blueprint on the city on what to do, who to connect with. But typically all the teams have like that team barber that cuts everybody.
Did he cut your hair?
No.
No, man, that's
not WNBA.
on the real though. That's cool that you have access to players like that because us being podcasters, we have our what we think we know, but then when you have somebody who's behind the scenes, kind of get to see how it all works out, man. That's pretty dope, bro. That's pretty damn cool. Pretty cool.
Blessing, man.
Yeah, we love to see it. We love to see it. Go ahead and jump it off. Unless you have anything to add, you can go ahead and jump it off with the first topic. Because I'm interested. The reason why I brought you on, and I think the people are gonna find out as we get into everything, is like, yeah, y'all got the business. Now I want to talk about how he feels about certain sports.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. So we're gonna kick it off with some NFL talk. We got Justin Fields trade rumors. Justin Fields, the polarizing quarterback for the Chicago Bears, who we think he's talented. He's got some pretty good talent. But the problem with Justin Fields is he's had 3 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinators in a short time that he's been in the NFL. And it appears that Justin Fields might be on the move. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this earlier, but he was on a podcast with Quantum St. Brown and Amra St. Brown, who are brothers. And basically, he unfriended or unfollowed the Bears and the NFL.
The ball
right?
Football.
And, it's kind of leaving, if you're a Bears fan, you're kind of wondering, like, okay, what the hell's going on? And you heard a lot of rumors about your boy with the fingernails.
Man, we gotta say
your boy.
Hey, as long as he can throw the ball like he can throw the ball. See, if you have a chance to get Pat, then not Pat, but if you have a chance to get Caleb, then you see what happened there. I even mixed up his name because he's so similar. The boy is a star. But if you have a chance to get Caleb, I think
Pat Mahomes.
No, not as far. No, who is? Like, there's no one. But I'm saying as far as what you look for in the prospect, which we do this every year. But yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah, he played for Oklahoma, which also means I've watched a lot of him play. And the boy is bad. But if you have a chance to start completely over, which the Bears look like they want to lean towards doing, I believe you do that and trade him and get as many assets as you can. And if he does go to ATL, that's good for ATL. This is one time where you could possibly have a trade that works out good for both sides.
Sure.
He goes to Atlanta. He's closer to home. He's going to be able to start new in the system with a coach that's going to work with him, do what he does well. And then on the other hand, you have the Bears, who have never in their lives as Bears, as a whole franchise, never ever of all times have they had a quote unquote elite quarterback. Never. I believe the best quarterback that they ever had was Rex Grossman.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, Jay Cutler. My bad. Jay Cutler. Well, talent-wise, Jay Cutler. Wins-wise, Rex Grossman went to Super Bowl. So we can debate that, but neither of them were like top tier what we're looking for in the NFL nowadays. So I think it'd work out with both of them. But if I'm the Bears, even though I like Fields and all of me wants to say work with them, it just is not going to work in Chicago. I have no faith of him in a navy blue jersey, but I see in the comments, ATL come home. Like I seen him in another jersey, I would have faith in, but Chicago's once the food's burnt, like you just gotta throw it out. You gotta start
trying to have no piece of it. All right, Keem, what you got?
I mean, I love Justin Fields. I really became a fan of the kid when he was in high school, watching, the kind of like his high school journey on Netflix, and just kind of keeping up with the 707 in high school ball. I think for him, it's kind of like in the business world, if an employer give up on you, it's like, okay, well, I don't even want to be here. You all don't believe in me. So I think for him personally, I think he just needs a new situation. But I think really looking at the game within itself, why bring in a rookie where it's kind of like 50-50? He could come out and be great and have like a CJ Stroud type of season, or he could really be in a bad situation in Chicago where it is a rebuild. I say go Marvin Harrison Jr. number one and build around Justin Fields. And add some new pieces, because he has the talent. But it's like, if y'all not blocking for me, I've had 3 offensive coordinators, the coaches, everything is constantly changing. But if you kind of look at where he really elevated during the season and during his time in the NFL, he has grown. Let's take that, because it's hard to come in as a rookie quarterback, especially, and just flourish. I mean, you very seldomly see that. I mean, CJ Stroud had a really great rookie season. I mean, hell, if he wouldn't have got hurt, he would have been in the MVP talks. Yeah. But he had a really good foundation and landed on the right team, the right head coach, the right moving pieces, which that isn't always the setup for rookie quarterbacks coming in, into different systems where they are considered like the guy to change everything. Yeah. But I'm not really sold on Caleb Williams. Honestly, this past year, he really didn't show me like that he could come into the league and just dominate like people think.
It's sort of like, yes, finally. I have complete faith in Caleb. I am.
We know you do. We know you do.
But I realize
it's really the OU fans pushing this agenda.
Bro, okay, yes, a little bit. But as well, the kid has massive talent, and we see him do things with his intangibles. But you are right, though. We have seen guys in college that look like whether they were the second coming of the next GOAT going to the NFL and bum out. Mm-hmm. My thing, and maybe I'm speaking from a perspective without even like saying it out loud or realizing it, that I'm trying to save Justin Fields. Get the fuck out of Dodge. Like, I have no faith in the Bears. To me, it's not and sorry, Caleb, you're probably going to end up there unless the Washington Commanders make a move and trade up, which as a Cowboys fan and you as a Giants fan, probably hope they don't.
Right.
We don't want to see the Commanders ever do anything good. But I think it's more, for me, I guess I will lean more towards, yo, man, Justin, get out of here, because they've had, 3 years they've had to show you, Justin, that they can build around you. No. Jamarcus Russell is a good example, because he looked like he was going to be Dante Culpepper on roids, like crazy nice.
And they've given him little to work with. I think he's done a good job with little to nothing, even with all of the changes too.
Ooh.
Do you have faith? Would you, and I'll ask both of y'all this, would y'all have faith? What would y'all, if you were Justin Fields, what would you have more faith in? Would you be like, do I want to stay in Chicago, or would you be like, get me out of here, please?
If I'm Justin Fields, I gotta go. But before I dive into why I think so, let's so we all have like, the baseline statistical output of Justin Fields over the past 2 seasons. Okay, so last season, we know quarterback wins aren't a stat, but he was 5-8. This is a perennial bad Chicago Bears team. 61% completion percentage, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's okay. He had 2,562 yards. Now, he was injured last year, so he did miss games. He missed like 5 games. He threw 16 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. So his touchdown to interception ratio, it's not terrible. Here's where it gets. So in 2022, we could all agree that his year we felt like he took some steps, right? The sacks last year were 55, this year 44. So he was better able to manage the pocket, but again, he missed 5 games. His yards per game, this is what gets me. Last season, it was 359. This season, 285. Okay, so he had a big dip, and he had a number 1 wide receiver finally. So I think when I watched the film on this dude, man, he has the physical traits that you look for in a franchise quarterback. He's tall, he's physical, he can run, he could throw on the run, different angles and stuff like that. Here's where if you are Matt Eberflus and the Chicago Bears, this is where it comes into question. I have a problem with how he sees the field. I have a problem with that because he's late on throws. He doesn't throw with anticipation. He is playing reactionary football, and you can't do that as a quarterback. And so could we say it was, his growth was stunted because he's had so many head coaches and offensive coordinators? I think that's probably part of it. I think he needs to leave because he needs to get with a proven offensive mind that's going that he can be the guy for the next 3 to 4 years to really figure it out. If I'm the Bears, I got to let him go.
They also, I totally agree. But I think also if you look at it, these last 3 years, he's fighting for his life, running out of the pocket, and has turned a lot of bad
Sounding like R. Kelly.
good plays. So it's like the offensive line has been, atrocious. So it's like it is affecting his reaction time and to really be able to, make the right throws. I mean, you put him in a Cowboys type of offense, I think he flourished with that type of offensive line that Dak has, which is another conversation.
Hey, hey, man. Yes, I agree, but no, I think you do make a good point. I think with the stat drops, I think we see that and people automatically look like, is that Justin? And I think everybody that watches this team, when we just so happen to see them on Red Zone, or nobody here is a Bears fan, but when we watch this team play, I think all of us can see that this kid is talented, but this team just for some reason can't do right around quarterbacks. And maybe they do need to draft the overall just Superman quarterback that we hope maybe Caleb Williams, or in the next coming months they'll try to tell you that Drake May is, or that Jaden Daniels is, which he might be better than all of them at the end of the day. But like I just think you got to save your career and save your team, and so start over for both. It's the best option. It just because it's not working. Like what Keem said is right. It's just we watch the offensive line. They can't block. You got a number one receiver. Can't get him the ball. Can't get the other talent the ball. Like it's kind of just like it's just not working. Let's just start over. Yeah. The relationship is. She's not the one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She's pretty. Everybody's like, yo, she's dope. But you're like, man, y'all know what it's like at home. It just ain't like, and you just gotta let it go, man.
Yeah. Right. It's definitely not one of those situations where you gotta see it through, my boy. You gotta let her walk. You gotta let her walk. All right, so
it is not cheaper to keep this one.
Man, let it go. You can't save them all, dog. You cannot save them all. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a fight. There was a fight in college basketball, and first of all, I gotta ask y'all the question before we jump into this Texas A&M incarnate word business. Have y'all been into a full out fight on the basketball court?
I have.
No, I have not.
back in high school, man, I played at South Oak Cliff my freshman year of high school. We play a away game in like Mesquite. And we get into like a brawl, and that was probably like my own team brawl. It got broken up, but man, Coach Mays, who's probably one of the greatest high school basketball coaches in Texas, for sure. But I mean, he was so mad, man. I think we went a few days without even dribbling the ball because he was just so like, y'all have to have more composure and class than that. It's bigger than you. We cleared the bench and just really we showed our ass, man. But he was not proud, and that was kind of like the real thing as a teenager. It's like, man, you really got to watch yourself and understand. Like, I mean, they could have took your eligibility, they could have done a lot of different things, but really thinking about your team, your coach. Your school, who you playing for, before you just go out there and make decisions like that.
Well, you make a good point, because these two teams weren't thinking about nothing but throwing them hands. So
Key, it's safe to say, Key, incarnate word, it's jumping sometimes. We've been out there. I've been out there.
Right.
San Antonio. It's in San Antonio.
Yeah, it is. I've been there. I've been there too. And this is a liberal arts Christian school, right? So
that's what blew my mind.
But these niggas, they didn't. Some of them boys from the trenches, all right, they done took the church bus.
They went and recruited some dogs.
They went and got some dogs, because some of them cats was slanging them things, bro.
They praise Jesus and throw them hands, bro. Stop playing.
So when you see stuff like that, man, it's like, okay, like it's funny, right? But what kind of message, it's like, what kind of message does it send? And then on top of that, if I'm out there, if you're out there, are you swinging too? What's your thoughts on that?
I think there's two roads that have to be. There's two roads that have to be taken. First, if for the last part of the question, if you're on the team, yes, you are, because it's a team. You practice together, you win together, you lose together, you die together. Like, it's not ain't nobody.
You don't want your teammate to be like, man, you the only one didn't swing. Now the locker room is like, man, damn, I gotta swing, because if we go back to the locker room or we just chilling, they like, man, you ain't even look. We look watching them this on ESPN. Look, you right there. He hit me. You ain't even see me.
Exactly. And
I got a story when y'all are done. I got a story for y'all.
If you're on the wrong team, you might get beat up when you get back in the lane. Might jump you. Like we didn't see you fighting.
Now you gotta transfer. Now you gotta put your name in the portal.
Yeah. So on that side of the team side and the strictly sports side, yes, you have to, because you have to fight and ride and die with your team. On the other side of just the outside spectrum of all of us looking at how sports is supposed to go, which is going to go to one of our bigger points. No, like Keem was saying earlier, it's bigger than you. It's one L. You have to hold your L's. The thing in sports about when you lose and you have to, it makes you get better. So you hold your L, you get better, you come back, and you're supposed to learn from it. You don't get to fight. You have to figure out another way to win. If you want to fight, there's a boxing gym, there's MMA gym. So I just think two things can be right at the same time. But I will say this, and this may be a bigger question for both of y'all to answer. Why are we still doing handshake lines? With all that can go wrong, you can easily let the game end. Whoever wants to shake hands can find the person that they want to shake hands with. But why are we doing a full handshake line when we know for a fact there's something that can pop off, and you can eliminate it totally by saying, hey, guys, at the end of the game, you can shake hands with who you want, and one team go one way, one team go the other way. Because I've been in handshake lines, and all of us have, where you've had that one teammate that's like, I'm gonna fuck them up after the game. Like that's, and you're just like, and you're like, bro, like why? There's no reason for this. But some people get, and you know this, both of y'all. Some people, when it's competitive, and then when it's real, like a real game, not like some like shit at the rec, like people at the rec go crazy. But if you're at like people get real competitive, their life is into it. So I just don't think that they should even have to shake hands after the game. But you can't fight nobody. But at the same time, if your teammate swings,
you got
to get up in there.
You kind of locked in. I got a story for y'all though, real quick. So I grew up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we were in the summer rec league. Yeah, we were in the summer rec league. Okay, and I grew up in the Carver rec area. Okay, they're Crips. Avondale is the rival. They're Bloods. Okay, so I don't know who thought that they were going to put these two teams together. Okay, I am 14, 15 years old, and Avondale had it. They were ballers on both sides, right? And I'm on the bench. Okay, and all of a sudden, you know, these guys start yapping. You know, they start yapping. Here we go. All of a sudden, a fight breaks out. Both benches clear. You know who didn't jump in? This guy. You want me to tell you why? Want me to tell you why? Because these dudes, they were all packing, bro. And I was like, yo, I'm not getting shot. I'm not getting shot. And
but wait,
now
there's a difference between your story and Keem's. Keem was talking about two basketball teams. That sounds like two gang rivals that just
Negro Grease.
Play basketball.
That's a rec league too, so it's kind of like it's not organized on national TV. Where like you're not gonna shoot me on national TV. Now those rec leagues, that's a different story where nobody probably got patted down. You got people in the stands, like so now it's like a awareness kind of thing in that sense. So understandable.
Yeah.
But I'll say this though. For all rec league people, I wouldn't fight for anybody in rec league. Notice how I talked about the real team, real games. There's a future involved, and like you practice and blood, sweat, and tears
involved.
Yeah. Like if you're at LA Fitness, man, don't fight.
It ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it.
Hey,
you gotta go to work in the morning.
It takes you walking home from school, and one of them dudes catch you slipping.
Come on now, it don't end there.
But
you know.
But
it's crazy.
I feel you, sir. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, self-preservation, baby.
And now
you still here. You got the pod.
Hey, we living out here. We living out here,
like,
baby.
What's up? I'm down for my.
Hey, man, I got hood tales for y'all later at some point. But hey, let's jump into college basketball, shall we? So. Now, you know, it's February. We almost to March Madness, man. And, you know, Russ, you and I talked about these number ones been falling this season.
Bruh.
like crazy. So you got Purdue falls to the Buckeyes, who just fired their coach last week. And then you got Creighton beating UConn, number 1 ranked UConn. So my question is, obviously, what is, in you guys' opinion, because we're all hoopers, what do you think the landscape of college basketball is right now? Do you think that NIL has kind of leveled the playing field? Y'all think that's probably why we're seeing these upsets? Or do you think it's just fundamentals and coaching and players is getting better?
I think NIL has like the pros and cons of NIL. It does even the playing field now, because it's whoever offered me the most money. I could leave Duke and go probably get more money at Creighton. But I think this is around the time now of comes down who has the most heart, who's more hungry. You know, it doesn't matter what the ranking is. It's like, hey, who are the players that are going to show up? Because now you start getting towards the end of February going into March. It's like the real dogs are going to shine. Who wanted more? You know, that's why it's always upsets going on, because now it's like we neck and neck. The conference doesn't matter who wanted more. It doesn't matter that you was the number 1 player coming out of high school or up for National Player of the Year. It's like the spotlight is on, the pressure is on. Who's gonna take it to the next level? And I think you see it now with these teams, like what Purdue have proven that they've always maintained a pretty good record throughout the season, and then they get to the conference tournament or they get the March Madness and they ultimately can't get the job done. So I think it might be another year that Purdue is riding high and then they start falling.
As the Indiana fan, that I love that synopsis of Purdue, because I hope they lose everything and fail miserably. Go Hoosiers.
Zach Edey's he's a bucket though. He's a bucket.
Zach Edey is.
I'm not
Zach
sold
Edey.
on
I mean, when you 7'5", you gotta be something.
I was just about to say, no, Zach Edey is just bigger than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not sold on him. I just haven't seen the bucket. I really sat and watched a few games, and I'm like, I think the kid is talented, but I'm looking towards like, how is this going to transition to the
NBA? Right.
You know, if you can't dominate guys he's 7'4", so it's like if you can't dominate guys who 6'7", 6'8", playing in your same position at the college level, how are you going to keep up with Embiid on Monday? You probably have to guard Porzingis on Tuesday. Then you move along. You know, you have Josh Allen on Thursday, Claxton. Like, you got to keep up with these guys who are a little bit.
And not to even mention, he's gonna be stuck out. He got to guard the guys like Wemby. But even in the college, rankings, like he's a slew-footed plotter. Call me a hater. I'm an IU fan. I don't care. I don't really believe in and watching that Ohio State team. One thing that stood out to me is, y'all played a bunch of athletic people, and if you watch Purdue's games, you'll know what I mean by that. So I don't really have faith in the way that team's operating right now, in the sense of trying to win it all. As far as UConn's concerned, I have no fear for them. I think it's just a conference loss. No one really goes undefeated. I will say this, though. I will say the slight disagreement I do have is, I think, Keem, with what you said, is this year, with the amount of with the NIL and the parity that we're seeing, I do think that conference play is going to matter. And that's because, of course, what we are in the United States, we see a lot of Big 12. And the Big 12 is a murderer's row. And I do think that that's going to help some of those teams, because I've watched some of the Duke games, and you watch some of the the American Conference games, and when you watch Big 12 games, I think it was BYU beat Baylor the other day. We had Texas Tech stomp a mud hole in Kansas, and Kansas got busy on Houston, and Houston gets busy on everybody. Right. And SMU just smacked someone this weekend. So the Big 12 is, if you don't watch a lot of college basketball, you want to get up on March Madness, try and watch the team. Watch the Big 12, because up through the top through the bottom, the Big 12 is crazy when it comes to basketball. You see the moves they made were not for football; they were for basketball. This is the best basketball conference I've seen probably since.
They were even saying that there may be a chance that there may be a team or two from the Big 12 that may go 6-11 in a conference that actually make the big tourney in March.
Bro, there's gonna be a 11 or 12. I bet you a Big 12 team gets a 12 seed. I bet you a Big 12 team, one of the mid-ranking Big 12 teams, is gonna get a 12 seed for that 5-12 upset. But it's a murderer's row. So we're gonna see. But as far as Purdue and UConn is concerned, I have more faith in what UConn can do after watching them play, because they've got that good college team robotic lifestyle. And one more time, my bad, J-Rail, I'm just going to go ahead and put you on blast. The ACC is not the best conference, and the only reason North Carolina is winning all these games is because your whole starting lineup is like 30 years old. Like the COVID years is crazy.
They took the COVID year to the extreme, bro. These niggas is grown men, dog. They 25 hooping on 18, 19-year-old kids.
There, a lot of these kids are getting like 6-7 years of eligibility.
Bro.
I'm like, damn.
They said that Armando.
Can I share with you
like
guys how dominant? Let me share with y'all how dominant this conference is right now. So I'm looking at the standings. Okay, you look at a team like Cincinnati, who's 16-10. Okay, now they have an overall record of 16-10, but they're 5-8 in the conference, and they're towards the bottom. They're like fourth from the bottom. But Texas, 6-7, 17-9. That's still a good program. Oklahoma, 18-8, 6-7 in the conference. TCU, 7-6, 18-8. BYU, 7-6, 19-7 overall. Texas Tech, Baylor, and Kansas are all 8-5. Now, Kansas, we kind of expect them to be a little better. I mean, they did get Hunter Dickinson.
NIL years.
Right,
big
right.
White boy from Michigan said,
"Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog."
He said, "I got an extra year. Why not go to Kansas?"
He's not consistent though. He kind of picks and chooses. Like, hey, I'm gonna show up tonight. Okay, tonight I'm gonna probably just chill, and he's just not consistent.
It's the physicality, bro. It's like he chooses when he wants to be physical.
Yeah, I think
you know what I'm saying. It should drive me crazy with him.
When they get to like, and unless they get upset, when they get to like the Elite Eight and he starts playing against other big men, other athletes, I pray NCAA, if anything, please put Kansas and Purdue in the same bracket, because I want to see that big white boy play against Edie so that I can see them.
I've seen that story. Now Hunter will give it to. They go back and forth, so it's a good matchup. But hey, man, the Big 12 dog is. I mean, they are killing everybody. You know what this reminds me of? The Big East back in the day. That's what it kind of reminds me of, how they were kind of dominating Pitt, Providence, and all those guys. And then when you get into a tournament, here we go.
Man, Georgetown used to be cold. Trash now.
I actually put the Big East over the ACC.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think
that's
the ACC. Okay, can I just speak some truth, bro? The ACC is not what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? The ACC has become North Carolina and Duke and them other niggas. I'm sorry, Jay. It has, bro. Syracuse lost its luster when it left the Big East. They should have never left. Like, I don't know if it's just recruiting's fall off or anything like that, but Tar Heels hate time. I guess it's come. It's like, y'all old. Y'all got all the old niggas. Like, so y'all like a bunch of 35-year-olds going direct playing against 19-year-olds talking about, get big, dog. You got grown man strength already. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't think the ACC is that strong. I do think that there are talented players in it, though. You can always rely on Florida State's defense. You can always rely on Duke having some players, North Carolina having some players, even though they're old. But it's not what the Big 12 is this year, and I don't think it's what the Big 12 is going to be moving forward. And I do think that the Big East might be better, because that's Butler, that's Marquette, that's Creighton. I'm missing somebody. Seton Hall is out there, I believe. St. John. So the Big East, I think it might be.
Yeah.
RJ Davis. How old is RJ Davis? How old is he? Someone tell me. Old. He's old. Hey. It'd be like me saying, if Jalen Brunson still played for Villanova, that nigga nice. bro, hey, go get a job. Like, you got your scholarship, you done graduated.
Go get a job.
Yeah, it's time to hit the corporate world at this point.
It is, man.
It is, man. That's a lie. 21.
And the SEC is better than the ACC this year, anyway. So they got to chill.
My bad to the SEC, because Kentucky has a sneaky good team this year that plays very well in the clutch. And so shout out to them. I believe Tennessee, Rick Barnes is still doing his thing over there. But March, I will say this, and y'all, and correct me if I was wrong about any of those, but y'all can dispute this if you want. But I think that this year, is going to be the best March Madness that we have seen in a while, with all the parity and all the good teams that we have.
I don't know about that one. I probably have to disagree because we've seen better college regular seasons going into March Madness. I haven't been very impressed with this regular season, but however, we know March is always going to be live because now it's for all of the marbles.
Right.
Winner go home. Everybody's going to step up and bring their best game, and we're like we see every year. There's going to be some upsets. So I'm looking forward.
And I love that aspect of March Madness.
Selection Sunday.
Huh?
Selection Sunday. That's what I'm working on. Once we kind of see what's the seeds and pairings, that's where we go.
Oh yeah, and while we're talking about, I almost forgot, King, you have to be a part of it this year because every year I do a March Madness little group in the ESPN March Madness, and the winner gets $100. And so, but I will say, people that I know, we got to stop losing to random niggas on the net. I done given $100 to people that I don't even know that have beaten our ass every year. So people that I know that come join, I'd rather get $100 to you. Instead, I'm giving to someone that lives somewhere. I don't even. Last dude hit me up, bro. King. Last dude hit me up and said, "Where my honey?" I don't even know. He was from like Kansas or something, bro.
Man, I probably would have had to say, "Man, look, I don't know you, man. Come get it back in blood."
But
that nigga show up at the doorstep like, "Yo, where my shit?"
Oh shit! I didn't even know you was in Texas, man. Here, man. What's your deal?
Hey,
I'm gonna give you an extra 20.
The boys look up to my IP address and ding dong. Oh, what the fuck? Like, nah. But it's a fun little competition that I do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give out the little, link when it does come. But March Madness is coming. Hope everybody watches and bet Big 12, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Bet Big 12.
So I got a quick question for y'all about college basketball, real quick. There was a time where college basketball was player driven, like. You had like these iconic, like mainstay players in college basketball. Okay. Now, because players, the NIL and players leaving, going to the NBA and stuff like that, we really don't see these players kind of develop. So right now, it does seem to be that college basketball is more, I even hate saying this, but it's team driven than player driven. My question to you guys is, where do you stand on that? And also, like, how do you, from a betting standpoint, because Kim, you're a bettor, right? How do you compensate for that for those who are listening who are going to play some bets for March Madness? How do you compensate for that equation when trying to bet on these games?
It's tough because you look back, like if sports betting is what it is, and I literally just got into it once I left the NBA where I'm eligible to bet. But looking back, it's like, imagine if you would have put KD or Mike 10 rebounds over for Mike Beasley. Like, that's covering.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I think these kids are so inconsistent and not really hungry to win, because you look back, those guys were like, there isn't any NIL money. You probably, some guys are probably getting a little bit, paid under the table, but it's still like, I'm trying to get to the league. I want to dominate. They're going to consistently perform well. Now it's kind of like the kids are getting so much NIL money. It's like, hey, I may show up, I may not. Who cares? I got a $300,000 NIL deal. Like, I'm getting paid, so who cares? Whether we lose or we don't. And then you get it now with the rankings that they're ranking so many of these kids. You like, man, this kid probably would have been ranked 5 years ago compared to how talented the pool was. And you got a kid that's coming out ranked number 1. Let's take Wagner from Kentucky. He has struggled, and then you take a kid like Dillingham, who has really taken over, has flourished a little bit more versus the player who was ranked number 2 coming out of this class, and he has struggled, a lot, and I think he's hurt now. I'm not sure if he came back yet, but I mean, it's definitely team driven versus now where hey, look, KD's taking over UT. It don't matter who's on the team. KD is going to will them to a win, or John Wall is going to will the Cousins. They're going to will this team, to some wins. But now it's like, man, everybody need to step up. Y'all all need to average this or that in order for this team to win. The coaches got to be on point. Cal barely needed to coach during a lot of those eras because that's how talented the players.
Yeah, he was just like, go win. You're better than them. Like, go show that you're better. Like,
Right.
and no, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think the NIL, I think we're in a weird place with the NIL because I think people, me, how I view it, people may say, damn, Russ, I am cutthroat on both sides. So, like, you're getting your money, perform, young nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no, you got that grace when you were a student. Now you are an athlete that we pay that happens to go to school. So I think we're in a weird space where teams aren't being cutthroat about the business side. And so, like what you said is happening. We got kids that ain't going out there and going after it who are still getting their money and are like, well, whatever. And the coaches aren't like, get off my team. When I think a lot of coaches need to go in there and say, bro, you need to average 20 this year because we're giving you $300K. Like, I need you to go out. We're giving you the ball. We're giving you this money. This ain't no cupcake league, bro. You want to go to cupcake league? We'll give you whatever you did when you give them we'll buy you out, and you can go play for someone else that's gonna let you half-ass it. So I think that little in between space that we're in is really having an effect on like the NIL and these players playing. Excuse me, but I still think there's a gap, like that gap, but I think it's a talent gap, Keem. I don't think so much is it just like hard, like the need for someone to play a role in basketball has been deleted. So you're a small forward. You have to be good at everything a small forward does, inside, outside. You're a point guard. Not only do you have to be good at, dribbling and setting up your teammates, you got to be able to shoot. You can't just be a guy that can hoop. Now they put 5 guys that can hoop on the floor, and it's kind of like, do you know what to do at your position when the game bogs down? And the answer is no. And college is where you're supposed to learn that, but with one and done, you don't really get the time to learn that. But on the flip side, that's what also makes March Madness great because it's just a bunch of guys out there hooping. March Madness tends to turn into a humongous freaking like super rec league or something, because there's no McHale's, there's no like Kareem type. You're not getting a guy that's going to go on the block and hit 10 straight floaters. You know what I'm saying? Because he's nice at it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get a point guard. Go ahead.
Oh, you should probably shed some light on how AAU doesn't help high school basketball players in terms of what you're talking about.
That's true, and Keem can speak to this too. That's true, but I think that also goes into, I think when people say you're not a hooper or like you don't know the hoop culture, I think what a lot of us mean is that there is a difference, and I think basketball players know the difference. The summertime in AAU is time for you to show out. It's time. It is like a summer-long All-Star game. You're supposed to get with the best players you want to play with, and you're supposed to showcase your talent. I remember when I played AAU, we jumping off the games, we going off the backboard, dunking it. We trying to get all the you're trying to win, you're trying to play the best, but you're trying to show everybody like outside of the system that I play in or that I happen to play in, like I can play all these other positions. And it turned into just a street ball popularity contest. And really it was just supposed to be a way for coaches to see how, okay, this guy plays power forward in high school because his whole team is, 5'3" and under. You know what I'm saying? He got a bunch of short guys, so he plays power forward. But then he gets out here as AAU team, and he's a shooting guard. So a coach gets to say, oh, I get to see that. But now the bad thing about AAU is you don't really get to see that because it's all just a jumbled mess. And I think, Keem, you've even tweeted about it before I shut up. Players are choosing where they play, and they're playing against bums. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of these guys that's playing against trash. Like, they're playing against dudes that you're like, that guy's going to be an accountant in 4 years. Like, he's not ever playing. Like, these are going to be the last time. He's probably not even going to go to the rec after he gets through playing with his high school team. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of that, the youth level, does have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I agree because I've been going to, AAU games from 6 and under all the way through the high school and just really just looking at basketball. Even in the high school, just went to a high school playoff game last night, and the kids, it depending on the coach, if you try to translate the same thing what you do in AAU and high school ball, it is really not going to work And kids think, well, I'm ranked at this certain level when I get to college. It's like each level is going to require different you. That's why a lot of the McDonald's All-Americans and a lot of the high-ranked kids, we don't hear about at the college level. And then some of the ones who may have been the top college players, they kind of probably start at the G League and then they fade out and we never hear about them again because it's like you're not truly working on your game and thinking about the next level. I mean, you're not a gym rat. I remember I'm like, these kids are not in the gym Monday through Sunday. It's like, well, we kind of choosing, I might go to the gym tomorrow, might, half-ass it in practice, and then, I'll be ready for the game. It's like, man, no, I can tell you're not working on your game. I can tell. I don't care about the rankings. I can tell that you are not working on your game and you're going to get exposed at the next level. And that's what's happening where it's like, okay, you may show a few highlights against a bad team and that got you a certain offer. And then once you get there, it's like, oh, he's really not like that when he's put out there with a different level of talent and you haven't been working on your game. It's going to show.
No, true. Like you see them guys that their whole mixtape is dunking and shaking kids that are shorter than them, and then they face a guy that's, oh, you're 6'7" too? What the fuck am I supposed to do? Oh, you can jump high too? Oh, damn, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, but that's always been, the case in all sports, but especially basketball. You got guys that can dunk, all they work on is dunking, and you're like, why don't you work on your three-pointer? And then they make some sort of crazy cockamamie like answer, like, you gotta get perfect at what you do so that you can perfect. And it's just like, but if you can dunk already, then why don't you learn? Like I learned how to dribble, with my right hand, then I learned how to dribble left, so I can use. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like
my son is in that circuit right now, man. My son plays for Billups Elite, and you look at, man, it's like kids don't work on fundamentals, man. I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Gino Auriemma, UConn's basketball coach, women's basketball coach. He said how much he dislikes the AAU culture because the AAU culture says you're going to play 3 to 4 games a week, right? And you're going to practice once. European basketball says we're going to practice 4 times a week and you're going to play 1 game. And he goes, that's the difference. That's the difference. So let's move on though. So we're going to talk about All-Star Weekend before we wrap up the show here. But first I want to get you guys' take on the Nets firing Jacque Vaughn. Now, anytime, on his
day off, like go, you were still in boxes. Got you on camera.
You want to start us off and then Russ, you close us on that.
I really like when they promoted him. It's like he's been around the organization. He's a player's coach. They understand. I was super excited. And then you have Harden, Kyrie, KD. It's like, how does this not work? Perfect opportunity with 3 future Hall of Famers. And I felt like they, that was during my run when I was at the Bucks. KD, if he was a one, we was a big toe away from, losing that game. They count that shot as a 3. The Bucks do not win a NBA championship in 2021. Kyrie gets hurt. It was just kind of like everything kind of fell in place. But I feel like after the Nash era, and then you go into a new coach that they really can vibe with, players coach, I was like, okay, he's going to win. He doesn't get it done with that. And then you make these trades and you still have a decent team, but the team is not really elevating and flourishing and like it's supposed to, even with the decent talent that he had. And I was like, man, that's probably coming. But I thought he was going to go at least the rest of this season to kind of see Ben Simmons get a little bit healthier, Cam Thomas continue to develop. But I always thought, I was like, man, Cam Thomas just doesn't, I don't know if he doesn't fit this system or is it the coaching to be able to put him in the right, setup that kind of aligns with his game. I thought they needed to trade him because he just doesn't fit that system. So I think the coaching, it was coming. It was coming.
I'll say this. Good for Jacque Vaughn. You got the fuck out of there, my guy. The Nets are a dumpster fire that's burning. Some call it karma, some call it the circle of life. Good for you. You know me, Stern. I'm the living embodiment of the Elmo with the flames, bro. Like you burn in the flames of Elmo, dog. No, they deserve all of this and more. And I know that
He's
some
gonna get another job, though.
I know. I think this is good for Vaughn. This is good. Get out of the New York, Brooklyn area for that team. Leave them be. Because what you just said, the 3-pointer should have counted or whatever, but they squandered it all. Sean Marks, the way they were attacking Kyrie, the way that, governorship or whatever, all that just, nah, man, like the Nets, sit in your shit. As for Jacque Vaughn, this is a blessing in disguise. You know what I'm saying? It's darkest before dawn. God opened you a door. It may look like it's closed, but the door is opening, Jacque. I think he's going to be fine. I think that the Nets just squandered the opportunity that they had. I do think that, it's unfortunate that players get hurt and certain things happen. But the way that Kevin Durant talked about the team when he wanted to leave, the way that Kyrie talked about the team that he wanted to leave. Ownership. Yeah, just that whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole makeup. It's just, we talked about the Bears. Now we're at the Nets. Like, some teams, if we want to remember back in the day when the Nets went and got Deron Williams, KG, and a crazy trade that everybody said that makes no fucking sense. And that was the other owner from Russia, I believe. And the Nets just have a black cat running through, and they need someone to come in there that's going to make smart decisions. Like, I agree though, Jacque Vaughn. I do not think that running the offense through Ben Simmons, who is possibly the most unreliable player in the NBA with talent, I don't think that was a good idea. I understand it, but I don't think that was a good idea. So I understand why players didn't like it. But you won't have to worry about that because I don't think Ben Simmons is going to be on the next team you coach. So you'll be straight. But no, I think the Nets are just they are an organization that needs to look themselves in the mirror and say, okay, what do we need to do after we blow it up? Because we got to blow it up. Like, this is not going to work. And Sterling, I spent a complete season backing up Ben Simmons. Yeah. Oh man, y'all gotta respect mental health. That. You gotta let him do his thing. His game, he's a big ass point guard, and now that he plays defense, no, I'm not dying on the hill. It's over.
Now they're trying to build around Mikal Bridges now.
Bro,
and he's not even fit to be like that guy. I think he's an amazing, reliable role player.
He's a role player.
The guy that's go out and get you 25, 30 every night. However,
he's a six-man.
Availability matters. Like, I love that about him, but he's not the type of player that you want to, like, hey, he's the franchise. Let's build around him. Like, no.
And I think even he knows it. I think even he would tell you, like, I think even he would say, I'm best suited as being like the Jason Terry to a Dirk Nowitzki, bro. Like, I'm gonna kill like the other team because y'all are too focused on the superstar and I can hoop. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, like what you said, that goes to bad gym, bad management, bad team. On the opposite side, you live in Dallas. We're Dallas Mavericks fans. And we see what Nico was able to pull off when all of us were like, you better do something. Like he lost Jalen Brunson. That's like losing Jalen Brunson was like you coming home and your people being like, okay, so look, I lost your car. Like, I know you had a nice Corvette Stingray. I lost your car, bro. I lost it, but I got your Lamborghini. I traded everything I had, and I got your Lamborghini. And then, like, the next season, it was like, okay, I know we got some busted shit over here. We're going to ship this out. And Nico went and switched everything around, went and got Gafford, went and got PJ, even though I would have rather had another young man on that team. But, the people have spoken. I can't argue. You can't beat up, so you can't get picked. But you know what I'm saying? But the fits have the exact opposite of what you want to happen is happening in New Jersey as far as what you see in Dallas. And I just think it's bad team management, man. And when you what do they always say? Y'all are in business, you're in business, the shit does what? It goes downhill. So it starts from the top. You do bad shit at the top and it's just going all the way down. I think the Nets will be in this sack of shit until the management looks it in the mirror and says, I need to change, or they just get someone else and the team is sold.
Facts.
All right, so NBA All-Star Weekend, man. This is right. This is the first one I've watched in a long time, And
I'm sorry for you.
I know. I was reminded why I don't watch NBA All-Star Weekend starting with the dunk contest. Thoughts on the dunk contest? Because I thought it was pretty. Max McClung, they were doing the boy dirty. They were doing him dirty. What y'all's thoughts on it?
I'll let you go first, Ken.
I mean, NBA, I think the highlight of the weekend was Sabrina versus Steph. I love that they added like that element, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they could build around that, you know, adding Dame, taking Dame away from like the regular one, possibly, you know, adding to Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Plum. You know, it's in the Bay next year. I wouldn't mind seeing Steph and Clay, you know, against maybe Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Plum, however you want to, you know, Kelsey Mitchell on the WNBA side. I'm just naming some shooters, Arike, like they can really get really creative. We're really creative with it, but there's nothing like the big stars. But I love LeBron, and I do have to agree, is like when he started, you know, people follow suit. Once he started, like, hey, I'm not, you know, a part of it. Then all the big names like, oh, Brun, okay, he declined. If he's
Can I say this though?
Not doing it, I don't want to do it, you know. But
I got to interject, and you continue. But Ken, we gonna have to have a back and forth though, because I know you've seen it. Because people that watch Bron is horrible at dunk contests. Nobody that watched him in 03, and I know what you're talking about, the gravitational pull he has. But my thing is, like, we know that he is not an entertaining dunker. My thing is
he just needs to be in it though. I
think he gets unwarranted blame, because I think best when you get a good dunker in it, like Mac has shown, it don't matter where you're from. If you could do some tricky shit and dunk, people are gonna get live. I think the problem is besides when we had Aaron Gordon and we had 2016. 2016 was the best one since Vince Carter did his thing. But I think they weren't superstars. They were guys that we knew were good at basketball that could dunk. And I think that's what the NBA needs to look more to. Instead of saying, Ja, we need you, which Ja and Zion, I hope y'all do it, because I know Zion got that.
He putting it on the table next year. I think Ja
said he gonna do it.
He got to do it.
But he got a dunk package though. The thing I think about it is, okay, LeBron, I love you. We can talk about GOAT status. He might be number one. We can argue back, but you're terrible at dunk contests. I was in high school in the 03. I watched it at home, and the first thing that came to my mind was, he's really good at basketball, but he sucks at the dunk contest. Like, his dunks are terrible. He's and you've heard this before, they're in-game dunkers, and there's dunk contest dunkers. There's guys that can do crazy shit, like when they're just, like, you know what I'm saying, fooling around after the game, and there's guys that just do really cool dunks on people flying through the air. One thing I did hear someone say is, and I agreed with it, I've said it, but I also heard it echoed. I think it was Gilbert Arenas said it was, stop letting these guys come into the NBA combine, jumping, standing 50 verticals, running 54 verticals, and not just looking at them and saying, okay, showman, you have amazing athleticism. No matter if you're the 15th guy on the roster, we can let you know ahead of time, hey man, if you get on a team, just know we're going to call you for Saturday night, because we're going to need you to come do some crazy shit. So whether you get 30 minutes of three, practice that shit. It's a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that NBA can do more. What's up?
I feel like if they add an incentive. We know guys like to get paid. It's like, hey, we go add an incentive, an extra incentive for you participating. Yes. I think then you'll probably see a little bit more of the guys with the bigger names put their names in the hat, because there's something monetary, you know, tied to it, whether you win or lose, but you're getting X amount. Right. You know, I think that's probably will bring you back.
No, I agree 100% with that. I'll let you go, Sterling, real quick. I think when we talk about all these different games, we talk about the All-Star game and how to fix it and everything like that, all of it's going to center around, y'all saw what happened with the in-season tournament. Like, Steph said it, Bron said it. Once it got to single elimination, the guys were like, 250K?
Yeah,
I had someone. Yeah, I think it was Poe. Poe had told me, he was like, Russ, after taxes, and I was like, bro, that's not, and I was like, he's right, but at the same time, that's not really the point. If you go tell us three right now, hey man, shit, me and Keem, hey yeah, we're chilling as a basketball going. Someone says, hey y'all shoot for, you know what I'm saying, y'all shoot against. Nah, I'm tired. If someone says I got $100 that Keem can shoot better than you, Russell, I'm gonna say get a ball. Like it does like competitive people are competitive people, so it doesn't matter. So once those
by the way, but yeah,
you're not gonna win it, and we can put this on tape. We can go.
Hey,
Sterling, this goes back.
We can settle this very soon,
bro. It's whatever. And, let me tell you a quick story. This is how I met this young man. So me and my homies used to go into the gym like every day. We ran the hoe. Y'all, me and my niggas had a squad. But we going in this one day, and there's this young nigga running around shooting from like Dame range, talking shit. And like I looked at my nigga and I was like, that's the type of shit I say, that little nigga. I said, we need it. And so we hoop against these niggas and we win. But the nigga does his thing, right? And I'm talking about this nigga talking shit. And I'm like, bro, where are you from? It turns out this nigga from Dallas. So like we in the chat and we get cool or whatever, but the competition's high, but point be made. No, bro. You know what's up. When
this score,
we need to. We can come. You can come out here.
I know you a shooter. Hey, shooter.
Hey, we do. Nah, but Sterling, kid got a death stroke, bro. Like literally, I would go in there and be like, oh, and he'll let you. I don't know if you become more humble in your grown age, but I'm talking about the 19-year-old kid was out there like, fuck, nigga. Yeah, like real.
I still be giving them boys. I still talk a little crap.
Sure. No, it's but point be made, like, and you see how that interaction start. Like, no, when you have competitors on the court and you have an incentive, they will hoop. And I think they do need to add that to all the All-Star. Everybody, you win, you get this amount. You participate, you get this amount. So there's two amounts. You know what I'm saying? You get paid either way, but you win, you get more. And y'all know bragging rights. Everybody knows deep down we trade money and everything, but the best thing that comes with the money is I got your money, but I got a little bit of your pride too. Like a little bit of your ego. I snatched a little bit of that too with the $50 or whatever. So, like, yeah, I think they need to add it. But we could talk about the other part of the All-Star game because I got an idea for the All-Star game as a whole of what they need to do to fix that. And I want to know.
All right, so yeah, we could start with that. 211 points for the East,
bro.
I mean, what do we do about that? Like that. I mean, I was like, yo, if y'all gonna be this close, y'all might as well just go ahead and go for it. Like, I mean, they were firing threes left and right. I mean, it wasn't a game, but what are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts on that?
I don't think we'll probably have to go back and look at it, but like they still end up winning by like 20 points. It's like if it was like 211 to 210 or 202 or something, it was like because it got competitive at the end, but it was like guys just like, man, it is what we not really, even if they turned it on like at the end, like the last quarter is like, okay, let's turn it up a little bit, let's get competitive, but it was just kind of free flowing the entire game. I mean, it wasn't really nothing to watching when it was back in the day where it's like, LeBron guarding Kobe. Kobe he's going to get a
94 feet.
He's pretty serious, about this. Or what was it? Maybe was that the Rising Stars where it was who was it?
Those used to be good games, man.
What's my guy that played in Cleveland with Bron?
Waiters.
Waiters
versus Tim Hardaway Jr.
Like that was for real,
bro. That was crazy.
I got some pride on the line. Like this is for real, even though it's a Rising Stars game. Like I'm going back and forth with you. Or
when Kyrie went out there and was like, Brandon Knight, I am going to kill you. Like just because you're the other guard, I am going to kill you. But that's the NBA and high competition, that's what it's about. And especially in basketball. I mean, every sport is like that, but basketball is a kill or be killed sport. There's only 10 of us out here. You play offense and defense. It is me against you, nigga. Let's go. And I think that's why as fans, that's why we hate the lack of competition, because that's what makes basketball amazing is when you have two people that are good at that sport. Like football, you can't have that back and forth. Like you don't, like we talked about that Rising Star where it's one shot, then another shot, then another shot, then another shot, and then another. And it's like you can't have that in any other sport. Yeah, but you can't get it in any other sport but basketball, really. So like to have us robbed of that in the All-Star game is what makes most of us pissed off. But me personally, and y'all could bounce back ideas, but I think that what they should do, they should have never gotten rid of the captains. Now I think they should have had more than LeBron and Giannis every year, or LeBron and KD, or LeBron and whoever every year be the captains. I think they should scramble it up and let different guys that are chosen to be all-star starters be a captain. And then also I think they messed it up. I think they had something with the Elam ending, and when they had the different quarters starting at 0-0 every quarter. I think they had something with that, because with that, psychologically and mentally, you deleted their ability to say, oh shit, man, we down 20. Because the first game you could have lost by 10. The second game you saw teams would win by like 20. Third game they lose by 10. Fourth quarter, oh shit. Like you said, it's a close ass game. And then they're Elam ending it, so it's not a matter of who wants to stop playing first. They're going to say, oh yeah, first one to 135 wins. And you get that crazy shit between LeBron and Giannis and Anthony Davis where everyone's like, nigga, in the game, because all of us play in court, you know what I'm saying, basketball where it's the first one to 15. So you're adding you're adding a level of know-how and knowledge from your fans. Your fans are like, we've all been in this situation where it's game point and you can't give up a point. And nobody wants to be that guy to give up a point. And they kind of took that away from us, and they went back to something that we saw was happening to this in the first place. And like one of the players said, like, I think it was, I watch a lot of the Gilbert pod. Gilbert was saying, you got a guy come up and rise from half and bang that. You got this nigga on that shit today. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like our thoughts might be otherwise of saying, my thought process would be like, oh, you hit it from half? We having fun today? I'm going to guard you now. Let me see if you hit it from half again.
Yep.
And I think that competition is lacking, but I also think it's lacking because, and I'll stop at this and let y'all finish up. I think it's lacking because there's no win for these guys as I become pro player. If I win, I don't get any new money. I don't get any new notoriety.
It goes further than that.
And if I lose, y'all gonna tell me I suck compared to such and such. So I do think you can at least give them money so they can say, once we say you lost, you got done, it's pretty dirty, they can say, well, you know, I did lose, but I got the bag, so I can take the shit that comes with it. Because there's no what was that song Drake said? There ain't no awards for that. Like, there's no awards for going super hard in the All-Star game except for the MVP. And we all see that's any given night.
I'm gonna sound like the resident old head, but everybody like each other. That's the problem. Back in the day, niggas didn't like each other. Like, you know, it's true. Jordan didn't like Bird. Like, I mean, it was on site when they saw each other.
Every time.
And now they let Dame shoot 4 threes from half court and nobody checks him.
I love Dame, but come on.
Don't let him. Like, he shows him.
You know, let Tyrese Halliburton shoot 6 threes in a row.
Bro.
Like, wide open. Like, I mean, when I saw that, bro, I was like, okay.
And we know that's textbook. Like,
right.
Like, wide open. Come on.
You the NBA, you supposed to make that.
Wide open. That's why I tell everyone, I was like, bro, as many wide open shots that guards get in the NBA, I can average a good 10. Like, just wide open shots. Like, yeah, I'm gonna hit some of these shots.
Wide open shots. Like, God, no, but you're right. No, and I think that's like, and spacing has a little bit to do with it, and you know, things of that nature. But you're right. Like, guys I always say, like, when I'm watching games, like, oh my God, like, closing out is a lost art. Like, the closing out that you see is terrible. And I mean, there's like rules that have, you know, guys kicking their leg out, trying to land in different spots, which I think rules have a part of it. But you're right, bro, guys. It'd be one thing if you're seeing, like you said, a close 200-point game, but I don't want to watch y'all shoot 83 pointers. Like, y'all just shooting jumpers. Like, at least back in the game, even if someone got blown out, you were like, yo, did you see Vince Carter do that reverse 360? Or like, did you see all them alley-oops that happened? Or like that one year that Steph laid on the ground and Giannis jumped over him because Steph was like, I ain't getting dunked on again. Like, you at least had some like theater in it. This year was just literally looked like a bunch of LA Fitness games rolled into one where the niggas just wasn't playing defense.
Man,
defense has been pretty atrocious in the NBA in general. I tell y'all a funny story real quick. We lose. We at the Bucks, and this was 2022, I believe. No, this was 22, and we lose the second round against the Celtics. We up 3-2. I don't know if you remember it. It was 2022, 2023. 2021-22 season. So 22. We lose second round against the Celtics. We up 3-2. We blow the game at home. to end the series. Boston wins the next two. We lose 4-3. And Coach Bud comes into the front office like a week later, just to kind of, again, man, thank everyone on the business side. We gave it our all. We'll, try again next year, blah, blah, blah. And they opened it up for Q&A. And I already had told everyone in the office, I say, on the HR side, I say, man, y'all know if Coach, when Coach Bud come, I already got a question for him. And it's going to be in regards to why the hell did we leave Grant Williams open as many times and Brook Lopez stayed in the paint? I don't know. Grant Williams broke Steph Curry record for most three-point attempts, and he was just in the corner just shooting wide open threes. He had almost 30 points that game. So
that's how he got paid for the Mavs. That's how he got a check for the Mavs.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, he can play defense. He's an undersized, but he's a hard nose. He's gonna play defense, and he's gonna hit that corner three when he's open. So I'm like, damn, he had like 27, 30 points. Like, that was the difference, man. It's game 7. Why the hell are we leaving Brook Lopez just down? Just, he's not moving outside of the paint, and Grant Williams is shooting wide open threes. So he comes in, I'm like, what was the scheme, the game plan to leave Brook in the post?
Wow.
And, Grant Williams wide open. He has almost 30 points, which, led to us losing again in game 7. And Coach Bud, everybody just like, damn, he really asked him that. Coach Bud was like, we wanted to get Brook Lopez, some reps, for the game, but I'll die on that hill. But last question. I have to head to golf. And that was it. It was like he really couldn't.
You know what he wanted to say?
It was dumb as shit, man. It was dumb as shit.
He wanted to hit the Russell Westbrook on you and go, who?
Yeah, man. He hit me with the I'll die on that hill. But anyway, last question. I have to head to golf.
Bro, I know he was mad as fuck. I was
like, he ain't never coming back to the front office.
Obviously. That nigga said, I'm going to Philly.
Dog.
That nigga said, you know what? I'm going to Philly. I'm out of this. But no, those
next year. I love Coach Bud, though. He was there my first year in Atlanta. I watched him get fired. He was there. Yeah, I watched him get fired in Milwaukee, too. But it's crazy.
I mean, coaches die on those types of situational hills. They feel like their scheme is the best, and sometimes that's the undoing of a lot of coaches, is that you coach what your piece of paper says, and you don't really coach with the flow of the game, which reason why Tyronn Lue
was his downfall. That was his downfall. That is like, hey, we're going into this game with this one plan, and regardless of what happens, we have to stick to this plan. And we
Doc Rivers.
Even the fans that are watching, it's like you have to be able to make adjustments regardless of whatever plan you went into the game. If you don't make adjustments, you're gonna lose.
Yep.
I don't know if you caught the last episode, King, but I referred to Doc Rivers. He's known on this show as the basketball coaching Antichrist. Because anything that he touches is gonna be in flames. That nigga right there, boy, howdy. You have King, it's gonna be even worse. He's got the All-Star MVP, a former MVP in Giannis, two top 7, 8 players, 2 top 10 players in the league on your team. Bet you they lose the 3-1.
The pressure is gonna be on now, especially with Dame racking up these All-Star awards. It's gonna kind of be like, okay, now y'all fired AG, which was a Giannis pick. Giannis was a part of that interview process. He picked the coach. It's really like, we're giving you everything in order to sign a contract extension. He got him re-signed, bought Chris back for an enormous pay, at his, availability and level right now. I feel like, we should have, Bucks should have moved away from Chris to get another piece in there. He's barely available, but
they got Thanasis though. They got Thanasis.
The pressure is on, man. The pressure is on for Milwaukee. It's really championship or bust.
Like,
I'm just laughing because niggas don't even take that serious. I said the Naz, he just laughed it up. Ha ha ha. Okay, so back to the regular schedule.
He cool people, man. That's what people like. He cool people, man. He's definitely a hard worker, around the organization for sure. hard worker. I know a lot of people troll, but he a good dude, man. For real.
I wouldn't play him one-on-one. I think he smashed a lot of people one-on-one.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
He's hilarious.
He's in the NBA.
I think he's just that teammate that's just funny as fuck. Brian Scalabrine was that way. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just that teammate that's like, yeah, he's not the upper echelon of players, but he's hilarious. But go ahead. My bad. I just got sidetracked because I wanted to bring up.
Oh no, you good. So as we're wrapping this thing up, King, man, you got anything you want to add? You want to plug anything before we get out of here?
Man, no, I appreciate y'all. I know tomorrow starts the second half of the NBA. It's about 27, 29 more games for most of the teams. So we're about to see. Like, this is the final rosters are pretty much set for the most part. So we're about to see what towards this finish line. Everybody, the BSing is done. Playoffs start in April, so it's showtime. Looking forward to it. And then we have March Madness around the corner.
I
know.
There's gonna be some good shit coming up.
Hoops coming, man. Hoops coming.
So we're gonna keep the hoops coming, man. We're gonna be on the Hesi podcast each and every week on Wednesdays. Got my dog, Big 30 The Truth, Russ, Sports Plug Russ, and King, man. Thank you for being a guest. Anytime you want to come back and chill with us, man. It was great having you on. Love to have you come back and kick it with us, man.
Yeah, next time. But next time I have to say, next time you come on, I need you to have a glass of wine. Get you a glass of brown, and we're gonna get you in it. We're gonna get you dug into because I want the people to. We need to have you back so we can talk about the blacklist. What happens when your favorite players let you down?
Oh yeah, man. So I have a season band, and then I have a lifetime band. So my lifetime band list for players is getting pretty lengthy, man.
Oh dang, yeah, we're gonna have you on for that. Then that's gonna be box office right there.
We'll make a date for March Madness and some NBA playoff talking. Hey, if ever you kicking it on a Wednesday night at 8:30, you know me, hit me, say Russ, hey man, y'all talking, and me and Sterling be like, yeah, shit,
hell yeah,
because that's what the Hesi Pod is about. Us, the people's champs.
All right, man, that's it for the Hesi. We up out of here. Peace.
तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा 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 तेरी याद